Alright guys, so I've marked this out on the back, the diameter of the compensating ring, the idea of the compensating ring. I've come in roughly 10 millimeters and scribed another line and then set up popped 4 points. So I'm going to drill through these. Now the idea is that they're going to be cut out when we do that bore through here to set that compensating ring into position. That allows us to get a weld around the outside and also on the inside. But the idea is that these holes will then be cut out. But I'm putting 4 in here. It gives me a few more options with holding this down when we're setting up the machine that back face. Could probably get away with 2 holes, but you know, why not? Right, I'll deburr those and they're ready as hold down points onto the table. Look, sometimes when you are doing design work and you've got a fabrication, sometimes it's a good idea to design in work holding methodologies, particularly on castings. If you can put a lug on one side or a datum or something that the fabricator has got something to work off to be able to hold that part down. That can be cut off afterwards. It has to be a non-critical component, but it just assists the fabricator with his setups anyway. Alright, I'll set up and I'll give that a lick back to size and get ready for that 25mm plate. Righto guys, we've got this fastened down through the holes that we've pre-drilled. I've used a couple of my clamp sets to evenly spread that load out to get it down. So we sort of even that out a little bit, get an even amount of pressure down on that base as much as we can. I often find it's a good idea just to go around with a feeler gauge to make sure that you've actually got it hard down on the table. Which that one is. So for a height reference, I'm going to come off the bottom of the table here and come up with my digital height gauge to give us that 62mm of height that we need to go. So I've got about 5-6mm that's got to come off this face. So we'll do that tomorrow night. My wife wants me in for tea, so I better do the right thing. So we'll come back tomorrow night and we'll clean all this up. And we'll get that prepped for the welding. I've also just eyeballed down these edges here to get them as parallel as I can with the table, so we can use that reference. We know we're reasonably square this way, and we can get around and do our weld preps. Alright. Right, back so soon. So he's about 10 minutes away. So I've got a little reprieve, so we'll come out here and just clean this up. Our little digi depth gauge, and we'll see where we're actually sitting with that. So 65.78. 65.78. Look over here. 65.75. Over here. 65.79. And 65.76. So look, we're in about 0.03 of a mil all over. That could be that it's taken a heavier cut somewhere and a lighter cut, but now we've got that evened out, it should come down fairly close. But regardless of that, we've got about 3.7 millimeters remaining. So we'll get as far as we can. Just have a quick look at where we are. We should have about 0.7-ish of a mil left to go. Just check our 0. Right. So as I said, our aim is 62. 62.62. .61. .63. .61. Just confirm if we're still at 0, which we are. So 62.62. .61. Let's work on 62.61. So 0.61 of a mil remaining. So I'll take half a mil off. We'll measure it again. And we'll do our final cut. 62.01. Over this side we have 62.01. Over this side we have 62.01. And on this side we have 62.01. 62.01 all the way around. So I'm happy with that. Alright, we'll change the cutter out, set up with our little 45-degree cutter, and we'll put the weld preps on this. I'm ready for our front plate. So, coming together. Alright, let's go and fit your end plate, and we'll see how that looks. There's the bottom, so looks like we're going to be doing some more welding after work tomorrow night. Alright, that's I'm happy with that so far. It's looking the bee's knees. Alright, we'll carry on tomorrow night. Okay, we're setting this front plate up, ready for welding. I've mounted the base on some parallels because that was a machined face underneath there on both sides, and we've mounted the plate on the parallel as well, and we've aligned all that up, and I'm within about 1/4 mil all over on that at the moment. So I've got a 4 mil machining allowance, so that's gonna clamp up quite nicely. So I've got all this clamped up now, ready for welding. So we're going to go outside, set up, and we'll tack weld this in place, and we'll start getting some heavy fillets down. And remembering, I did my little witness marks down the bottom here, so I know that is the bottom, because we've all done things in the past where we've put them together the wrong way. I certainly have anyway. So we'll go outside, we'll set up the welder, and we'll start putting that together. Right, so we'll make a start. I'm going to just tack this off with the 2.5 mil rods first, get that underway, and then we'll remove the clamps, and we'll start laying the 3.2 mil rods all the way around the perimeter. Right. Just a touch. Oh no, it's got some good tacks all around. I'll just leave those clamps on for as long as I can. They're in the way, I'll pop them out of the way, but basically it's pretty good. Just give it a brush, a quick clean up. So, that's our welds. They come up really, really well. You can see that. So they'll machine out quite nicely, I reckon. Right, we'll let this whole thing cool down. And we can set up for the machining of that face whilst I've got that face there nice and flat at the back there, and we've got our mounting holes. We'll just give it a lick across here. That's going to become our datum face that we're going to work from to get everything squared up as a start anyway. Alright, I'm happy with that. Alright guys, so we've welded this up. I'm just giving it a buff back, but I'm really happy with the way that that weld's come up. I've got this mounted down onto the milling table. I'm just going to take a very light lick over that face just to clean it up. Just out of curiosity, I wanted to see what the warpage was on this, and it's around about 0.6 of a mil. It's sort of dished out a little bit into the middle. I've clamped this down with my clamping fingers again through those holes that we pre-drilled specifically for getting access for clamps, and those holes will be removed when we do that cutout in the back. So I've got this clamped down, it's all set to go. I'll set up my milling cutter and we'll give that a lick across the face. And then we'll move on to the next step, which is doing a bore out the back as a pre-bore, ready to weld that compensating plate onto the back. Right. So I've taken over taken off just a tad over half a mil. Can't even feel that transition there. So, all right. I'll take the burrs off this, and we'll set this up now for doing that pre-bore in preparation for welding that compensating plate on the back.